Anthony, are you going to introduce who this is?
Okay, this is our dog Nala, I know. And because she's smiling because she has teeth going and I figured out a fact with her. Because if you scratch here, she stops.
She's only a puppy. Can you remember how old she is?
6 weeks. No, Mama!
She's just turned 7 months on Sunday.
7 months, you're kicking. Oh, you do. Oh, you.
And she's a rehome, isn't she? And she's a rehome that joined our family in November. And I think it was the last week in November, wasn't it?
And she likes snow. She likes to run a lot.
She does. She's very playful, isn't she? She's the giant puppy. And she's a mucky one.
She loves snow. Did I mention that?
You did, but she does love snow. We're hoping it snows tomorrow.
Oh, she's good at snow. She's good at what she's good at. Oh, what did we do on snow riding?
Yeah, she was running with you, wasn't she? When you were sledding down the hill. Right, so shall we let Nimue introduce Lapa now?
Yeah.
Go on.
So this is our dog Lapa, guys.
And she's a 5-year-old Samoyed.
Yeah.
So Lapa is our 5-year-old Samoyed.
Yeah, 5 years old.
And we rescued her through a Bulgarian rescue.
Oh yeah, and she's a Samoyed.
Yeah. And the Bulgarian rescue is called Santa Paws.
Yeah.
And they were fantastic.
And she loves us.
Mm.
And she likes snow sledding.
She does, doesn't she?
And she likes to eat the snow.
She does.
She's a fluffy doggy.
She's a very fluffy doggy.
Yes.
She loves giving you cuddles, doesn't she?
And her hair is white like the snow. And Nala's is too.
Clever girl. And Lapa's also booked in for the groom on Tuesday. So Lapa, we suspect from the scarring on her stomach, was overbred at one point in time. And she's got a few hip problems, but we're working through them at the minute.
They wanted me to say something because I told her to say Phil's hair in, but I said to Nimue to say it, but she doesn't want to, and she wants me to say it. Lapa is actually 35 years old in human years.
Oh, right, okay. Well, there you go. So Lapa, when you look at her stomach, she has several scars there, which suggest lots of C-sections. She's also got some hip problems, which we're working through currently. But she's absolutely wonderful with a fantastic personality and just loves the kids. Both dogs do require an adequate amount of walking, which is perfect for our family. And Lapa's got fed up and walked off. Thanks, Lapa. Say hello. Say hello. Hello, everyone. And it's Lapa and Nala's dinner time. As you can see, we feed our dogs raw, and that's actually a bone broth paw they've got there on the top of it. They're getting it all over the floor. So we'll be mopping in here as soon as they're finished eating. They're such sweet doggies. And Lapa has 2 meals a day, and Nala has it split into 3. And this is actually a Durham Foods Complete, which has everything from the bone and the offal in it too. This is really, really good for working dog breeds. Well, all dog breeds really respond well to a raw diet, unless So I shall leave these guys to eat.
Well, you need to help get all the water through her fur.
Do you want to help?
So you know like Daddy does when he puts the water in your hair first and then lets it settle for a sec?
Yeah.
Well, that's what you need to do.
Got
we've
the
got to
mud
make
coming
sure-
off, yeah. You're such a mucky doggy.
If you look, Nim, she's got an undercoat and an overcoat.
If you split it, you can see the undercoat. It's like wool underneath.
Yeah.
We've got to get all that properly clean and then properly dry. Otherwise,
So
if
you
you
go
don't
in
dry
in,
it
like
properly,
Daddy's
it
doing,
skin
go in
conditions.
And just
Hey,
tuft in the hair.
let's
Okay, yep, you do it.
I'm still put it down there. That we should do. Should I put it down there?
Oh, she's a mucky.
Mucky.
She is mucky, isn't she?
Well, we can't call her a mucky pup because she's not a pup.
Mucky pup.
You're a mucky bum dog.
She's not mom.
Oh, she is.
How?
You can tell she's had lots of babies.
Can I talk to you? I know his mum, she can be. Nola's mum.
Aww.
That's pretty much how we work it.
Nola's early. Nola has a mum.
She has kind of adopted Nana, hasn't she? She groomed her.
You know?
And she feeds her. Yeah, she regularly drops food in front of Nana.
She does.
That tells her off when she's being too silly.
How?
Gives her a little tap, she does.
Is she?
Turn around and look at the camera. Right, you want to come around this side and help me with this one? You can stand here. So basically, we're drying down the middle first. Then look, drying down the middle first, and then we're doing this side and that side, and then we'll blow it up to give it some lift once she's fully dry. And we've got to get down to the undercoat because she's got a wool undercoat. We've got to get all that nice and dry.
So what you need to do is imagine that she's a piece of paper and this is a big pen that you're colouring in with, and you want to do little motions like that to colour in.
Okay? Good girl, Nala.
How would they just have to come off you?
She doesn't have as much as Lapa. It'd be easy to do compared to Lapa.
That was a fluff ball.
The fluff monster.
No, listen. She's like, oh no, so. So she's like me when she's getting soap on her head, isn't she?
Yeah.
She's like, no, I don't want to
I
have
don't know, I
soap.
think these are better behaved than you. They only trying to skate once.
Really? Really?
Yeah, well she's sat there nicely now, isn't she? You wouldn't be.
Yes. Take it over back.
after Homehead looks like this.
Doesn't it?
Yeah, Homehead does look like this. And today we are discussing taking care of our dogs and finding out some facts.
Yeah.
And now this ties into our winter theme
Yeah.
because of the type of dogs we have. They're
And
bred
what
for
the
colder
flavours?
climates. And Lapa is also a sled dog. So it ties in very, very nicely with our current unit.
They do. We
Yes,
tested
they
it
do.
with a sled with it on it. But she didn't really run, she just walked.
She ran next to you, didn't she?
Sometimes we tested it all out with the sled and she was good for it.
Yeah, she wanted, well, she thought she was meant to get in it with you. She sat in it with you. She enjoyed it though.
I'm going to tell a fact about Lapa, all the kinds, about, what's the kind name?
Samoyed?
Samoyeds.
Samoyed, that's it, yeah.
Yeah.
Well done, you
Samoyeds.
pronounce it better than me. Samoyed, that's it.
Isn't it true Samoyeds? If you eat the food wet, it can go all mouldy.
Well, if you trap it in, because it's such thick undercoating, water in there can smell like, you know when like, you won't know, but when I used
Wet
to go
dog?
to school, yeah, wet dog smell. And obviously they've got the double coated dogs, aren't they? So the fur underneath is relatively thick. So if it's left wet against the skin for long periods of time without drying them off and stuff like that, it can start to smell a bit funky and stuff
How come the teeth was like...
and get quite matted. So that's why we groom ours daily with the brush, just to keep on top of it. Right, so taking care of a dog, and this is a Twinkl resource, and I showed you that in my intro video the other day, and I'm just going to quickly read through this with the children.
Yay!
So, dogs are a very popular pet to have. It is estimated that there are over 8 million in the United Kingdom. Did you know that, Nim?
No.
That's lots and lots of doggies, isn't it?
I know. No wonder, like...
And they can be great pets if they're cared for correctly. They love attention and to play and be stroked. And they also like to be with people and look forward to seeing you. So dogs vary in sizes. You can get some big ones and some little ones. Ours are big, aren't they?
We can get massive ones, but like bigger than horses. You know that? We got...
Nala's still growing as well, isn't she?
was going to get a dog what's bigger than a horse, weren't we? No, that big black dog.
The I know what you mean now.
Can we please
What are they called now?
Obi!
Newfie Poos.
Yeah.
That's it, Newfoundlands crossed with Poodles. Yeah, they're quite big dogs. And they do look like the size of Shetlands, but I think they're slightly smaller. But you never know because they are massive dogs.
So, if we got that dog, when it ended up sitting on the couch, we'll probably break it.
So, can you tell me why dogs have fur in way?
So it can be fluffy.
That's a good reason.
But also to keep it warm in the winter.
Yes. And if you look at our dog's coats, on Lapa, for example, she's got longer hairs and then the shorter coat underneath, hasn't she? So the shorter coat keeps them warm in winter, but the longer coat
Keeps them cold.
allows the air to flow through so that in summer they don't overheat. Isn't that clever?
And I didn't know that, but I just say the long fur is going to be so keep them cold as well. So in the winter they're not too hot, but they're not too cold.
And what are the ears for, Nimway?
For listening and hearing.
Well done. Clever girl.
And you know the
And dogs have really, really good hearing. They can hear some sounds, because sounds is a frequency, isn't it? They can hear some sounds that human ears can't hear. So they can hear things that we don't even know are there.
They can hear
Isn't
ghosts.
that amazing?
Yeah.
Some people believe so.
Hey, why don't you ask us about my eyes?
And the tails, what do the tails do when they're happy? You wag, don't they?
Yeah.
You wag the tails.
You wiggle.
So, what does a dog need? So, what do our dogs need?
They need water and meat.
They do, yes. What else? Can you think what else they might need?
I know.
She's mentioned eating, haven't you, love?
I know.
Go on, what?
So, running.
Yeah, they need good regular walks and exercise, don't they?
Also,
You are very clever in a
you
way.
need good to take care
Actually,
of, and then
You
you
do.
need attention
and
most time.
And it's very, very important to keep them clean and healthy, isn't it?
the red part.
But there are things that dogs should avoid, isn't there? What food can dogs not have?
Fish.
No, they can have fish.
No, some kind of fish. You
We
can't-
give ours fish. Oh, you mean fish high in mercury, don't you? Like tuna and stuff. Yeah, no, they have to avoid fish high in
Can I
mercury.
talk to you?
Go on.
They can't. They're allergic to seeds in the apples,
Can't have the seeds in apples.
and also they can't even eat bones.
You
They
can't have chocolate.
can't have chocolate,
You
no.
can't have plastic. You can't have top.
So, what are baby doggies called, Nim?
They're told puppies.
Puppies, clever girl. And they get born in something called a litter. So a group of puppies, they've just been born, are called a litter of puppies. And that means that there's 3 or 4 puppies, or even more, born at exactly the same time, one after the other. They have to be about 4 weeks old before they can start to eat proper solid food. So, can you guys remember what I've just said to you then? Okay, so roughly how many dogs are there in the UK? Is it under 8 million, 8 million, or over 8 million?
Over 8 million.
Over 8 million. Nimwe, you were right. So how do dogs cool themselves down? Actually, I don't think I mentioned that one. So panting and sticking out tongue, isn't it?
And also giving them water to help. Cold,
Yeah,
very
and
cold
access to
water.
water is a good one, isn't it? Why is having a dog such a big responsibility?
Because
Why do you think it's such a big responsibility?
we need to feed them, give them water,
Yeah.
hydrate them, feed them,
We mentioned that. We can't let
So
them
yeah,
eat.
we have to do that for
And
them.
sleep.
Don't
We have,
we? Yeah.
and we also have to give them attention. We have to make sure they don't get anything to make them sick.
Yeah.
I
We've
know.
got to keep them safe, haven't we?
I know everything about dogs.
Me too.
And Seth on some.
And we've got to
too.
keep them socialised and
the one for the
exercised.
apple
How can a dog be kept safe in public?
I
Put on the
know.
lead.
Yeah, so keep them on the lead.
I was gonna say if a dog tries to go to another dog and they're running like barking.
Yeah, so keep
just don't.
controlling them. And we've also got their collar, haven't we? With our details on.
Do you know where
And chipping.
Do you know where I really want to get our dogs? Last night when we went to the park with the dogs, I saw a glow in the dark collar on one of the dogs who were running around.
Yeah, reflective.
Like, I really want to get
We've
one
got
of
a
our
reflective
dogs.
harness, haven't we?
Oh, I've reflected.
Yeah,
Oh,
our harness shines in the light. And so do our leads, actually.
Mm.
Our leads actually glow as well. So that's an extra source of protection because you'll see that going down too. So why do you think dogs are such a popular pet?
Because.
Well, what are your reasons for thinking they're a popular pet?
Because they're so fluffy.
They're fluffy. Can you think of any reasons, Ant?
Because they're dead cuddly and they're dead friendly.
Okay, so we've got fluffy, cuddles, and friendship.
And
They're
playful
playful, yeah.
for like children. Who want to
My
play
turn.
and have
Okay.
has nothing to play with, so get a dog. And you can play with the dog.
They're good company too, aren't
Oh
they?
yeah. And say something. Also, here's another fact about
They
dogs.
can be protective as well.
Here's another thing about dogs. If say like a tornado's happening, big tornado, but we're all in bed, we don't know about the tornado.
Mhm.
Dogs, animals, like dogs and cats can actually sense danger. They can
Yeah.
sense it, and that's what their whiskers are for.
And they can warn you, can't they?
They warn you.
So you-
So dogs can actually sense like danger and all that. Because that's what the whiskers are for. So basically, one time this person was going towards a tornado, and the dog was trying to run the opposite way and barking, trying to get him away from the tornado. And as soon and then he pulls the dog's head, come the dog started coming, but started saying barking and going like that, and then he looked away and saw people running, and he said, "What's going on?" And he said, "Oh, tornado," and he said, "Ah, that's what the dog was trying to warn me about." About.
Right, so these are our doggy checklist, okay?
Daddy, mine.
And they've both got one each, so that's your one.
Daddy.
Mama,
And that's your one.
okay, mine.
Shall we put your name? And this is Mummy's one here. Mummy's got one too, and there's one for Daddy. Okay,
Dog.
so we're going to team up here.
Water. And
Who's going to have Lapa and who's going to have Nala?
And I have Lapa.
Okay,
You want Lapa?
Yeah.
I
Okay, so
know
we're
I know
right.
all about Nala.
They'll be able to hear it, but sorry guys if you haven't been able to see Nimue. We hadn't realised that she was out of shot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully
We think one of the dog's tails knocked the camera and moved it.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Never mind.
Never mind.
Never mind.
They'll be able to hear your answers anyway.
Hey, can I talk to you?
Yeah.
Look.
My face.
Look. So,
Cut that
so
out.
you right, and I was right about the feeding and,
Yeah.
and the water, and it was right of the lead, and
The poop scoop, isn't it?
Oh,
We
yeah.
use bags though, we don't use a spade.
yeah. And I'm toning, and you
Yeah.
got that, and I got that.
Yeah, you did. Clever girl. So, who do you want to team up with, Mummy or Daddy, Nimue?
Daddy.
So you and Daddy are going to look after Lapa and fill this form in for her. And me and Anthony are doing Nala. So I'll write Nala on my one too. Okay. So,
I know all about Nala.
we'll put Nala in here.
Nala.
Pencil.
Yeah, I'm just using this one for now. Let me get you the pen. So today is Monday.
Sharpen a pen for me.
Just listen. So today is Monday, so it's this column here. Okay? Do you find Monday on there, Ant? And we've got feeding.
I use it.
And we've got watering. And we've got walking. And we've got poop scooping.
The dogs don't poo.
And then we've got grooming.
How come the dogs don't poo a lot?
They do. They just do it in the garden and then me and Hobie will go and get it. Okay, that's the royal way. Hobie will go and poop scoop. And then you keep moving out the shop, baby. So, it's Monday. And if we split the feeding column into 2 for Lapa, like that, okay? So you can do a line right down the middle. Actually, I'll get your ruler. Is there a ruler anywhere, Daddy? Lapa has had her morning feed. So do you want to tick that there?
Try to say days of the week.
No, on that side, just this side of the box, because this is for a
Monday,
nighttime
Tuesday,
feed.
Thursday, Wednesday.
And Lapa's feeds are split into 2. So she has 750 grams a day, split into 2. Okay?
This pencil's better.
So she's had her morning breakfast. She just needs to have her evening meal tonight. So we've ticked off in that box, haven't we? Do you want to tick off in yours, Daddy? Okay, and she's also had water, hasn't she? So do you want to tick the water?
I don't know how to do this. I put this up now. I don't know.
Daddy's sulking because this doesn't have funky pictures on.
Does
Do you want to tick her water as well? Okay. Do you want to tick one walk because she's been on a morning walk, hasn't she? So do a tick now. Do a tick like that. That's a tick. Okay. Do you want to do one there?
Yep.
Do it in this box there.
Tick.
Yeah. And then Daddy's been out and picked up some poo, so we can tick here, can't we? And we can tick under grooming because Mummy brushed her today. And we also gave her a bath, so you can tick there.
Right, so what are the options then? What are my things? So we've got
I
food,
ticked this.
water.
I took this,
walking,
I took this.
poop scooping, and then I've just put grooming as one on ours because ours is a box shorter. Okay, so Nala gets fed 3 times a day. Okay, because she's a puppy. And she's
Daddy,
on
did you tick?
1 kilogram of food a day. Okay. And she's had her morning, we split that into 3, and she's had her morning and afternoon one. So do you want to tick them? So you can tick the first 2. Well done. She's also had her water, if you want to tick in there. And then we're going to split this one in half. So draw the line down there. with our makeshift coaster ruler and tick there. Yeah, because she's had one walk this morning and we're going to take her on another one shortly once we finish this.
Don't they have mug water?
Yeah, but just tick it like that because obviously we leave the bowls full all the time and they can come and go as they want from water. Tick here because we've already been out and done some poop scooping today because we do it after they go out. So go on. And then obviously I brushed them this morning after they've had the bath. So, and then tick that one because they were back too. Awesome. So each day it's now your responsibility to tick these. Oh, and let's not forget that Lapa also has her meds, doesn't she? Okay, so you need to tick there because Lapa's 5 years old. You need to tick under here too. We are turning that into another box for you. So you've got an extra box on the end. Because she's had today's. Right, do you want to tick them there? To say she's had her meds this morning. Clever girl.
Save a picture.
Well done. Okay, so each day now, it's your responsibility to help us look after Lapa. And Anthony, you look after Nala, okay? Do the grooming yourself. So I want you to brush them every day for me. Yeah?
Can you still see it?
Because it's your job for the week. Yeah? And you can help me do the food and everything. As you're looking after Nala, we'll start off with Nala first. Yeah? Okay. So, we're going to start with the Akita, which were originally called Snow Country Dogs. And that's how she ties into our winter unit study. They originated from the mountainous northern part of Japan, and the name actually comes from an area of Japan known as Akita. It's a province there. Okay? It's an extremely sweet and loyal breed when it comes to their family. So we already know that they were originally referred to as Snow Country Dogs before they were given the official breed name Akita. And this breed was developed through crossings of Chow Chows with Japanese Carry and Tosa dogs, or Tosa dogs. So Akitas were used for garden royalty and nobility for Japan back in the 1600s. The Emperor of Japan and even samurai soldiers made them guardians of the people and their properties. The Akitas were usually used for hunting large game, namely bears and boars, and could keep their prey at bay before the hunters arrived. They are considered in Japan to be tender-hearted and strong, and I'd agree with that, wouldn't you? Nala's very strong considering she's just a puppy, but she's such a big softie, isn't she?
I love the colours of the little dogs, what they put on the pictures, and they're so adorable. You need to sew them. You need to sew them pictures of.
Do I? I'll put them up. I'll put up slides of photos. So since being brought to America and the UK, different varieties were formed. So you have the original, the Akita Inu, or the Japanese Akita Inu. And Inu actually just means dog in Japanese. And then you've got the American Akita. So there's two different types of Akitas you can get. A male Akita stands quite tall at 26 to 28 inches and weighs 85 to 130 pounds. So that's around 50 odd kilograms. A female Akita has a height of 24 to 26 inches and a weight of around 70 to 110 pounds. And Nala's probably going to grow to be about 43 kilograms in weight. So Akitas have a large head with a broad neck and chest.
And it looks like a Lapa.
It is Lapa. Yeah, these are worksheets I've made myself.
Oh,
That's Lapa. So, what's he like? He's like, oh my god, that dog looks like our Lapa. You make me laugh, Anthony. So, An Akita has a large head with a broad neck and chest. They have small eyes and erect ears. They're double coated, with the undercoat being very dense and plush, which means thick, which makes them suitable for the cold weather. And they also shed a lot, as we have discovered. White, fluffy shedding dogs when you all live in black. The Japanese Akita comes in the colours white, pinto and brindle. A pinto coloured Akita has a white back with evenly placed patches that takes up a third of their body. And a white Akita does not have the mask. Their outer coat may have a different colour from their undercoat. An Akita's tail is large, carried high and usually curled over their backs. A Nala is a Japanese Akita.
Well, that looks like Nala, but it isn't Nala.
No, this one's got more of the
Brown
markings and pinto markings.
Same size as it.
So, personality. Some Akitas don't like breeds of the same sex. However, you can try and breed that out of them. And Nala and Lapa get on very well, don't they? We've been very lucky so far, touch wood. An Akita is an overly affectionate, loving and playful dog when it comes to their family. And ours are also very, very friendly towards other dogs. They absolutely love them, but that's because we've socialised Nala with dogs from day one. They are extremely alert, intelligent and courageous, which makes them perfect company for families and also for the traditional hunting and guarding. They need daily exercise and activities to keep them in check and prevent them from becoming destructive, but ours are never left alone either, which is a luxury we have because we're home educator. We're at home with them all the time, and when we're out and about learning, they come with, don't they?
So say like, even they come with in the car when we're going on holiday, they're never staying in this house alone ever.
I know, they've not been alone since the day we got them, have they?
No, and you loved it because Nala we got because they only kept them having to go to work and they couldn't.
Yeah, they were working 12-hour days.
And you couldn't bring Nala to the outside.
I know, she was a young puppy on her own, wasn't she, in the house for 12 hours a day? Wasn't nice for her.
No.
So he did the wise decision of rehoming her to us.
So
and now she's never alone, is she?
Nope, and she's enjoying it.
She is, she's loving it.
She gets to get a lot of cuddles.
She
also,
does.
I know her favourite TV show is Power Rangers.
Does she enjoy watching Power Rangers with you?
Oh, and then when me and we started playing, she started jumping around and all that.
Aww. So they're naturally stubborn. They can grumble, moan and bark if necessary for the situation, but they're also bred to be quite quiet breeds. So we don't tend to hear a noise from Nala, do we? She doesn't tend to... She'll occasionally like talk to us with her now she's finding a voice. But that's about it really.
I was cuddling on that, yeah. And what I normally do, I do this to dogs to cuddle them because that's what dogs normally do when they cuddle. It is.
No, yeah, come.
And then she started going,
talking to you. She does that when she's giving love. Akitas are loyal and territorial of their home and would like to be above other breeds of dogs. So they think they're royalty themselves, Akitas. They're very cat-like in that area, aren't
like attention. These type of dogs are half cat, half dog.
they are half cat, aren't they?
Yeah.
They are very like cats and the personalities too. But cats are very fickle, aren't they? And Akitas are the same in that respect. So they like everything on their terms. And that's why people say Akitas and cats are very similar. Because Akitas like things on their terms. And that's why you need to be very firm with them. So they excel when challenged or given a task to do, so like a job. And they use their mouth to carry things around, including household items. They'll also come and take you to where they want you to be very gently. It's called herding, and they'll just mouth your hand and lead you to where they want you to be and go.
Nala, she does that, but very gentle, but she's only doing this to please and see.
Yeah.
It doesn't hurt, she's mouthing, because the teeth are growing in.
Yeah, they need lots of exercise, don't they? and a varied routine, because they can get bored quite easy, can't they? So we have things like conchs and stuff like that, don't we, that we put treats inside for them, and we use dehydrated liver, because she absolutely loves a dehydrated liver, doesn't she? So they grow rapidly between the ages of 4 to 7 months, which can make them prone to bone disorders. So they do say when they're still a puppy, because the joints aren't fully formed, that they can only have 30 minutes of exercise twice a day.
Also, no way, at being 4 years old, managed to get into second place. Was it fourth or second?
Third place.
Third place in a dog training competition at 4 years old with 2 big dogs. 4 years old he is. I'm telling when I do tournaments on the games and all that, I get like last or like, not even close. Like,
And she came third, didn't she? And that competition was the Young Handlers competition with the Akita and Shiba Rescue Society UK.
That is,
I will link you to them.
That is pretty surprising at being 4 years old though, isn't it?
So the joints are fully developed when they're at the age of 2. So you need to try and prevent them from walking as much as possible on solid ground until then, and forcing jumping and so on, really. So they do shed a lot, but the heavier shedding occurs twice a year when they fully shed their coats. They need bathing every couple of months, despite their self-grooming habits, and brushing is required daily to maintain the health of their coat. They do technically have a self-cleaning coat because they lick themselves, and the type of fur it is, the mud just dries and tends to brush off. But yeah, you do need to keep on top of them, and hygiene's very important, isn't it? So it was Helen Keller, who was a political activist, who introduced and brought the breed to America in 1937, and then obviously they came over here too. When a child is born, Japanese parents traditionally receive a small statue of an Akita too, because they're a symbol of protection, happiness, long life, and health. Isn't that good? Hachiko, the famous dog known for his loyalty since the 1920s, is also from the breed of Akita, and there's a movie out about that dog as well that we can watch if you want. It's very sad though. It is a very sad movie, but it's about an Akita, famous Akita, so that'll be nice to watch, won't it? The trademark tail is unique for each dog and usually curls over the back, and they prefer the cold weather, love to eat snow, and love to roll in it. They're also qualified as a therapy dog in the US, and can be seen in hospitals and nursing homes interacting with patients, because they are quite a loyal, loving breed. They can also be seen in dog sports that specialise in obedience and agility. So Anthony's got a worksheet to complete on the Akitas here. So can you remember where the name Akita comes from?
I got hair all over my face. Without the setting, I got hair all over me.
You're covered, isn't me? I'm covered too. There you go.
It's all over my face.
Do you remember where the name Akita comes from?
Japan.
Yeah, but where about in Japan? What's the place called that they're named after? It's really easy.
Akita?
Yeah, well done. So write Akita in here. Akita, Japan.
I just guessed the name of Akita. I'm really weird.
So write Akita, Japan.
Do you know what you should have done? Do you know why I thought that was Lapa?
It is Lapa.
I knew it was Lapa, but I went so that the head it looked like Lapa because of all the dirt and all that.
That was when we went to that snow day with her.
So look at all the Samoyeds all look the same.
They do, yeah. They are very similar, aren't they? Anyway, write Akita, Japan in there. Oh, that's some lovely handwriting. And it was the northern part of Japan, wasn't it? So northern Japan.
Northern Japan.
Yeah. Because I asked where did they originate from, and it was the mountains, wasn't it? So write mountains there too. So, before they had a name, what would they refer to as?
Before they had a name, Snow Country Dogs.
So, right, Snow Country Dogs in there. How many varieties of Akita are there? So there's 2, Japanese Akita and American Akita, isn't there? So Anthony, what dog breeds were crossed to come up with the Akita?
A Ferrari.
That's close. Go on.
I can't remember the other one.
Kari and a Tosa.
Oh, is that Lapa?
Samoyeds.
Oh,
Yeah, it's all Lapa.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. And I've used Lapa for this one. She's a cutie, isn't she?
Yes, it really is.
So, Samoyeds. Did I say that right, Anthony?
Samoyed, yes.
I used to call them Samoyeds and was told off by Anthony. So,
Because
Samoyeds.
I got told off by my dad that we're Samoyed and not Samoyeds. So I told my mum off and said it's Samoyeds. And then my mum I bet you my mum's gonna tell somebody off and say no, it's Samoyeds. And then
I did, I told Toby.
And then Toby probably told
Circular argument.
Yeah. Samoyed.
So,
Oh.
Samoyed facts. Can you read this better? That one's pale. Playful Samoyed facts. Playful, perky and smart, the Samoyed combines their eye-catching appearance with a fast and clever mind. They're known for their double coat and dark eyes. You read really well then.
Thank you.
So, this ancient breed is believed to be descended from the Lapa, a Spitz-type dog from Siberia. Samoyeds were kept by the Sami people for transportation, herding reindeer, garden homes and staying warm. They were treated as beloved members of the family, and Samoyeds frequently slept next to the children in tents and igloos. So we know where she's going with you when we're camping. In the tent with you. They need to be a beloved part of the family, in the centre of everything you do. The Samoyed is also known as the Bajelkia. Yeah, I can't say that. Bajelkia. If anybody knows how to pronounce that, please let me know. So hardy, vibrant and even-tempered, the Samoyed was originally used to hunt, herd reindeer and horse sledges for the Sami people.
And bears.
They served in northwestern Siberia. The dogs developed a love and understanding of humankind and an unfailing sense of trust and loyalty, which is retained in the breed to this day. They remain delightful playmates and faithful protectors of children. So both our breed of dog love children. Samoyeds were brought out of Siberia at the end of the 19th century and the early part of the 20th century to pull sledges on the Arctic and Antarctic expeditions. Most of the Samoyeds in England and the United States are descended from the veteran expedition sled dogs. Despite the Arctic heritage, the Samoyed has actually adapted well to warmer climates. He's just laughing at that photo of Lapa.
That was just funny for me. I don't know kind of what it's style. It's awful we got to laugh with pictures of Lapa.
She does have that typical Samoyed smile, doesn't she? It looks like the Joker's very happy.
No, in the background of me. Makes it even more funny.
So, size. The standard states that males would be between 21 to 23.5 inches at the shoulder and females 19 inches to 21 inches. There is no disqualification of size in that breed though in any competitions and KC registrations and stuff. And size varies from 17 inches to 25. So third, they've got a double coat, just like the Akita, and the undercoat is like a wool. The undercoat can actually be knitted into beautiful clothes. It's strong and warm. The coat is odorless. Well, clearly. They did not smell Lapa yesterday when she decided to run through a mossy, greeny, slimy nastiness in the park. The outer coat is coarse and the long tips have a silver glint. Both coats should stand out from the body. A drooping coat is not typical of the breed. The colour is white cream or white with beige highlights. And you don't shear a Samoyed ever. The females usually shed twice a year and male dog once. Though they can have a slight shed mid-season, and sometimes like the Akita blows the coats twice a year, as do the female Samoyeds. But they can have a slight shed mid-season, and sometimes central heating can trigger it too. Puppies are born with short white coats, muzzles are blunt, ears lay flat against the head, and the skin is pink. It's acting like that on camera for like 10 minutes.
Sorry guys, I feel like that. It stopped me from laughing, you see. Because every single time when I look at pictures of Flap, it makes me laugh.
I'm like, that, to be honest, I've got some funny ones of it.
I'll be on this.
No, that one of her wearing the glasses off William, no, that one cracks me up every time.
I haven't saw that one.
I will put that one in for you to see because it is actually quite a funny photo. So they weigh from 10 to 18 ounces. And Lap is actually overweight, so we've had her on a diet. When she came to us from the rescue centre, and obviously I've mentioned before, she came from Santa Paws Bulgarian Rescue. And she was 36 kilograms. We've got her down to 32 now, according to the scales at Pets at Home. And obviously we're going to aim for about 30. Because obviously we don't want to put her on too much of a restricted diet after her past. We want her to enjoy life as well, but we also want her to be healthy. And you can see that she's much healthier since she's lost them extra couple of pounds so far.
She looks so adorable though.
She is, she's cute, isn't she? So the Samoyed is an ancient working breed of dog, and their eye-catching looks and gentle nature, coupled with their unique intelligence, deserves the love and loyalty of their human family, which they return 100-fold. Samoyeds are active dogs and enjoy a good amount of exercise, and Lapa enjoys a good 3 hours a day, which suits Toby because he also enjoys several hours of exercise a day.
I might help him too.
They are inquisitive, quick-witted, mischievous, and tend to remain playful throughout their old age. They tend to have a twinkle in their dark, intelligent eyes, and their ever-present Samoyed smile, and they're quick to engage with people and other dogs. Now, Lapa obviously came to us from a rescue at 5 years old, so she has slightly lost the twinkle in her eye, but she's starting to get that back, isn't she?
Mm-hmm.
And she'd forgotten how to play as well, sadly. But the last couple of weeks, she's really, really been playing with Nala, and sometimes even instigates to play herself, doesn't she?
And because we rescued her, she's only just learning how to
Commands, isn't she?
like,
Right, Samoyeds are not a breed suitable for solitary confinement in the back garden or being left without personal attention or even another dog for companionship. A Samoyed is very likely to become a miserable and destructive dog in those situations. With love and nurturing, he does, however, enrich their owners' lives. And Lapa, she has definitely enriched our lives, hasn't she? She's a little beauty.
she's a polar bear.
By nature, the Samoyed's not an aggressive dog, though they do stand their ground for what they feel are their rights. And being an all-purpose dog, they easily adapt to most circumstances and environments, and when brought up with children, they would be their favourites in the entire family. And as Samoyeds excel as playmates and guardians, they never desert the children when they're in danger either. They were actually bred to look after, babysit and protect the Sami tribe's children as well. So they do have that instinctive nature in them. And we can watch, both breeds are like that. And we can watch them move around the house depending on what room the children are in. If they're asleep, they'll go and move to that doorway so that they're in the doorway and they can see the children and They just like being near the kids. It's very sweet. The Samoyed has a keen sense of knowing when you're happy, sad, and your feelings towards them, and they show and return that love accordingly. They thrive and their personality shines with love and companionship and being part of a family, in the car as well as at home. Samoyeds are a talkative breed, and with encouragement will voice their likes and dislikes. They also speak with their paw and nose. And that nose also gets pressed softly under your arm for attention, with pressure added when you ignore the first hints or recognition. And Lapa does that, doesn't she? I can be sat here writing away, working away, and then I'll just feel that underneath my arm, and it's here with her nose wanting my attention and a bit of a stroke, and then she'll happily lie down next to me. She's beautiful. Now, when Lapa came to us, she wasn't really very talkative, but the last couple of days she's been more and more talkative herself, hasn't she? So we think she's found her feet now.
She's been like going,
Does she? And she barks, doesn't she, when she gets excited? The only time she tends to bark is if you so much as look at that lead and harness.
You see, she doesn't know how to say...
I daren't walk past her.
She knows the voice, but she doesn't know how to say words, does she?
Well, no, obviously. But she does make like noises and talking noises.
I'm teaching her how to talk, and the first word when I want to be teaching her is love you.
Yeah.
That's the way.
You're trying to teach her to howl it, aren't you?
Like, ow, wow, wow. It mostly works from Akitas.
Yeah, I know. It works in Samoyeds.
I know.
Samoyeds and huskies and dogs like that, really. They're a herding breed, so they do try and herd other animals in the family. They dig and love to play in mud, and I can attest to that. Samoyeds generally want to please a fair and consistent owner, and are generally trainable with voice commands depending on what you're trying to train them in. Recall is absolutely appalling. Samoyeds are terrible when it comes to recall. So we only let ours off in safe and closed areas where we know that one of us can actually catch her when it's time to go home. Although, to be fair, I've got to give it to Lapa, she does come back. She does. But I don't want to risk it just in case she gets prey drive or something like that when we're walking somewhere.
She eventually comes back.
Urban.
You have to salt her.
Yeah, you do. But you do with any dog.
You take like 2
So harsh training methods are not advised with a Samoyed. So health-wise, the Samoyed is an ancient working dog and has experienced minimal genetic manipulation by mankind. Subsequently, Samoyeds are generally healthy. With good care, nutrition and exercise, your Samoyed's life expectancy is 10 years or more. So one caution the Samoyed owners need to share with their vet is that they can frequently have adverse reaction to medications containing sulfur. So that is something that anybody with a Samoyed needs to take into consideration. And these sheets are available for download from our WordPress site. I'll pop that link up. So, and I've also done sections on eye conditions that are common in the breed, heart conditions, skeletal system, immune system, and metabolic system. So, grooming. Although Samoyeds allegedly have a self-cleaning coat, puppies are often sold with bad advice, and the owners do not realise until they discover the dog's love for digging and mud how much work their coat can take. I highly recommend Animology for white coats. That shampoo was a godsend yesterday. Brushing helps to remove soil and your dog will look presentable with daily grooming. The time to bathe depends upon your dog, the surroundings, training in you, and weather obviously plays an important role. I mean, we've got a dog blaster, which is a dog hairdryer essentially. And you'll see that in the video from when we backed Lapa and Nala. And that, honestly, I highly recommend that to every dog owner because it's just amazing. It cuts down bath time by at least a good hour. Just being able to blast them dry like that. So a winter snowfall can also bathe them for you because they will like to roll and play in the snow. Frequent brushing doesn't keep the coat clean, but it keeps the soil light for some time. However, sooner or later, the bath is obviously inevitable.
At least the snow keeps them still white.
Yeah.
Not
Traditionally, they were bathed at least twice a year for their health and comfort. However, they were also traditionally able to roll around in snow on a regular basis. and swim in water and so on, in rivers and lakes and that. So bathe right after the wool has been combed out, and this will remove loose dead hairs, clean the skin, and stimulate the growth of their new coat. You've got to use a good dog shampoo which conditions both the skin and coat, and not one that will dry and irritate the skin, with lukewarm water. Traditionally they were washed twice a year, like I said, but most Samoyed owners would probably agree with me that it's a bit more regular than that because of how much they love playing in mud and getting dirty. And they're white with long fur. As you can see on the first photo, that was Lapa cleaning herself in the snow.
Can I see?
Does she look clean? No, she doesn't look clean, does she? No, not in the slightest. She is not clean in the slightest.
Let me see her again. It always takes me long.
And obviously you've got to check the teeth and make sure they've got access to nutrients for the bone, teeth and coat health. Trim the toenails every 3 weeks if necessary, but you've got to be careful not to cut into the quick. And trim the hair beneath the pads, so to level with the pads. And that's important because long hair can cause them to slip from poor footing. And, you know, it can also cause injury. And you don't want them to start walking on the heel pad rather than the toe pads, as they should. And when Lapa came to us, she had fur in between her pads that was as long as the fur on her back. So we had to trim all that down for her so she could walk properly.
No, to the Lapa, yes.
Yeah, another picture of Lapa there, as you can see. And Nala's also on that one.
The cute polar bear, isn't she? The polar bear.
She looks like a little polar bear when she's lying down, doesn't she? So larger breeds of dog tend to grow a lot in the puppy stages, and during those puppy years, overexertion on muscles and joints can actually be detrimental to the long-term health. So exercise in shorter bursts is therefore much better. So it's generally accepted that environmental factors, including nutrition, influence a pup's development. Sliding repeatedly on slippery wood or vinyl floor can bring disastrous results for an active puppy, as too can too much standing on the rear legs, which we have to watch with Nala, because she does that an awful lot, because that's what she likes to do. She likes to jump up and put her head on your shoulder to give you a hug.
No, Lapa.
Nala.
No, oh.
Yeah, Lapa can't jump up because she's a bit too weighty still at the minute.
Also, when Noel tries to give you kisses as well, she jumps up. She does that to give you cuddles, but she also jumps up and makes her nose touch your chin to say she loves
does,
it.
Doesn't she? So these situations should be carefully avoided, and some puppies demonstrate tremendous athletic abilities and want to leap upon and off everything in sight. Avoid allowing that. Being a working hardy breed, the Samoyeds in adulthood require a lot of exercise, around 3 hours a day at least, which can be broken up if required. They're a breed used to freedom in the northern countries and therefore enjoy being able to run safely within a large enclosed area. They don't have a good recall, especially when they get running, so training is a must. Now we have started hiring out the My Dog Paddock place. It doesn't cost much for an hour, but you can go in and the dogs can just run off, and there's all sorts of equipment there for them to play with. And that's you hugging Lapa, isn't it? And this is the worksheet that I've made for Anthony about Samoyed facts, and he has to test his knowledge now. If you think it's a fact, colour the box in blue. No, come this way, princess. Look, can you feel the ground crunching under our feet?
No.
Crunch, crunch, crunch. Like glistening snow. But it's actually ice on the surface of the grass. You can see our breath and everything. It's that cold.
Daddy.
Should we go see where the doggies are?
Yeah. Hey, look, guess what?
What, love?
Tag you.
Oh, my ear. Oh, go on then. Oh, look at that sunset. It's beautiful.
Mommy, Andy.
Lapa.
Guess what? Tag you.
very icy. Oh, the lake is
You
icy.
could probably walk on it.
What?
You could probably walk on it.
No, I wouldn't risk that, mate.
No, lads.